out and he's worried and he sort of doesn't want to look at anyone. You can see his eyes are constantly like looking down. So we felt that was the best edit one we could do. Now for this one, I'll probably have to go quite in depth of what I've done here. This is based on editing I sort of practiced over the summer, where I was editing sort of montages, you could say, of things, and I sort of learned black flashes, bump gradients, things like that. It's quite complicated stuff, but I feel that it's suited our film quite well. So we've got the heartbeat, and that is matching these black in and out flashes. You can see here, these are all the black bumps. So what they do, they just fade in and then cut out. In between this, we're using fossil shots, which actually, because of the black, makes them look, the lighting looks a bit weird. For this specifically, I've used a bump map, which sort of highlights the textures more. I wanted something a bit, not that it didn't look normal, it looked different, like the textures here look very grainy, and I don't know, that sort of matched the heartbeat and the ringing and all the sounds brought in. It matched this sort of grainy sort of texture, and sort of worried and stressing out Adam in this section of the film. So I thought that was really important to sort of get a bump map in there. This was something that wasn't actually in the film originally. We just had him walking away. I felt this was a really boring shot though, to just have him walk away. So which is why I sort of went for this more editorial style, where we sort of edit in a lot more action into something that doesn't have much. In the first few drafts, you'll see this wasn't actually a thing. It was just him walking away. But there's too many shots of him walking, so which is why I added all this layers in. And I think it sort of shows that he's having an attack, not an attack, like a panic attack, and he's freaking out over what's happened. And the ringing adds to that, and all the sounds sort of layer very well. So I was quite proud of this little part of the film, specifically. Like I touched on before, at the start of the film, we have the black and white version of this shot. We've now got the colour in, which sort of signifies it's a different shot to the one we've seen earlier, which I felt was good. Going furthermore into this scene, this was quite a difficult one to do, actually. We've just got a basic council scene. The original idea was to have the council scene blurred out and from Adam's perspective, with the audio also quite wetted out, which is when you can't hear it very well. But we decided against doing this based on the fact that we felt this was a better shot, and we want to see Adam himself and not look at the counsellor the whole time. So I felt this over-the-shoulder shot works quite well. We've just faded it out mid-conversation as well, as we felt that it sort of gives the audience the idea that he's going to get better, he's going to get help, and we're in the middle of that process. Obviously, with a short film, not everything can be completely resolved by the end of the 5 minutes. So we sort of, it's not a cliffhanger, but we know that he's going to get help. We know he's going to get better in the future, just not at the end of the film. There's not a drastic change, which I feel is good, because you can't have, with things like social anxiety, it's not an overnight change, is it? Like, you don't suddenly think, oh, I'm not anxious anymore, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. It's a long change where he's getting help, and we know that over the next few months or so, he will get better and he will conquer that fear. So I feel that cutting it out mid-conversation was actually really important, as we don't actually get a proper resolution on that topic. Furthermore, we'll go into titles now. So we have the music start playing up again. We've got scrolling credits, and we had the idea of adding the fossil in the background. Now you'll see that the colours look a bit... the general saturation of this shot is different to the ones we've seen earlier. Basically what I've done, I've added in a bump map, but I've completely lowered the ambience and the intensity. If I raise the ambience look, it highlights over the shot. So if I just go back and undo that quickly. Right, I've got to do it manually now, haven't I? Alright, I'll just show you. It's on about 100, I think, wasn't it? I think it was on 100. So this is the problem with editing, see? Yeah, I think it was on 100. This sort of means that you can... the white text layers over it quite nicely. Obviously, originally we were thinking of just going with black text. Black text. A black background and white text, but this was quite boring, and I felt that adding the fossil in the background sort of ties the whole film together, and the whole link of the fossil being his anxiety and how he holds on to it to feel safe. Obviously, adding Greg's sound over this was really good as well. I think he did a really good job on the soundtrack. I will probably go in depth more into the sound editing in a later video of this, because this has reached about 26 minutes now of me just talking about video. Let me just see if there's anything else I can really touch on. So, just generally speaking as well, I don't know if I've mentioned this, and I don't think I have, what I do to create the black bars around the video, which make it seem a bit more short film themic. Sort of, it has that impression. It's a bit more themic. I'll try and find one that's a bit easier to show you. This one specifically, okay. So what I've done is I've just set a keyframe here, which then just lower down the shot. This creates the bars at the top and the bottom of the screen. To get the consistency, I just copy and pasted the keyframes. It's quite simple, but it's effective in creating a short film look. You know, a short film look and a professional look is the black bars. And I thought I've done well adding that in, and that was something I'd always knew I was going to add in. For basic colour correction, I've gone with colour curves mostly. This is good at creating contrast in shots without over saturating colours and things like that. It sort of only focuses on the blacks and whites, which is good. I also use colour balance and brightness and contrast if I'm looking to edit shots any further. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can touch on possibly? The fossil shots, obviously I've explained how they cut in, that's quite simple. And the black bars as well. Yeah, so I don't think there's actually anything else I can touch on when it comes to video. So thank you very much for watching. I will probably split this into about 3 parts of 10-minute videos, which will then go on my blog. So thank you for watching.